Hey, seventh grade. We're gonna be starting the new chapter, chapter 6, perimeter, area, and volume. And today's lesson, perimeter and area of rectangles and parallelograms. Okay. Now, here we have a rectangle. Any of the sides of the rectangle can be considered the base of the rectangle. Okay. In this case, I select the bottom side as the base, and the height is always perpendicular to the base. Notice this is the base, this is a perpendicular line. How do we know it's perpendicular? Because this is a 90-degree angle. Okay, and this will be considered as the height. This is base, height in a rectangle, right? Now, for parallelograms, remember, definition of a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel lines. This and this are parallel lines, and this are parallel lines. So, again, any side of the parallelogram could be the base. Okay, look, this is a side. So in this case, I selected the bottom side as the base. Notice for this one, this perpendicular line, this is an imaginary line I created, right? It's perpendicular to the base, okay, 90-degree. This line will be the height of the parallelogram. This will be the base. A line perpendicular to the base will be the height. Okay? So as we were saying, any side of a rectangle or parallelogram can be chosen as the base. The height is measured along a line perpendicular to the base. Okay? Now let's define perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a figure. The distance around the outside of a figure. So if we look at example 1, they're asking us to find the perimeter of each figure. Okay? Problem number, example 1, part A. Notice, here we have a rectangle. Okay, it looks like a rectangle. This side measures 8 and this side measures 10. Okay? By definition, we know that rectangles or parallelograms, right? It has two pairs of parallel lines and that they are congruent. That means if this measures 8, this side will measure 8. If this measures 10, this one over here will also measure 10. So by definition, we have perimeter is equal to the sum of all the sides. So in this case, this side measures 8 plus, what will be the measure of this side? These two sides are congruent, so that means 8 plus 10 plus, if this measures 10, this will also measure 10. Okay? How many sides in a parallelogram? 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to add 4 sides. Look, 8, 8, 10, 10. 4 sides. Okay? So now all we have to do is add. 8 plus 8, 16, plus 10 times 10, 20. So perimeter equals 16 plus 20, 36. 36 what? Remember, in this case, they don't give us any unit of measure. We don't know if they're centimeters, meters, feet. We don't know. So our answer must be given as 36 units. Okay, so this is one way of doing this problem. Now, another way, using the definition for base and the definition for height in this rectangle. Notice 10 is the base, 8 is the height. For rectangles, the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the base plus 2 times the height. We can simplify. Instead of writing base, we can call 2b plus 2h. B for base, h for height. So in this same example, notice that the base is 10, the height is 8. So we substitute 2 times 10 plus 2 times height, 8. And we get the same answer. 2 times 10 is 20 plus 16, 36 units. Okay? So we have two ways to find the perimeter of a rectangle. Part B, we have a parallelogram. This is not a rectangle. Notice that we don't have any right angles. Okay? So we're going to do this example by adding all the four sides of the parallelogram. Again, this side is congruent to this side is congruent to this one. So that means if this measures 9, this is also going to measure 9. If this measures 11, this will measure 11. So now we find the perimeter. Perimeter equals, now we add 9 plus 9 plus 11 plus 11. Now we add perimeter equals 9 plus 9, 18 plus 11 plus 11, 22. So perimeter equals 18 plus 22, 40 units. Okay, so this is how to find the perimeters of rectangles and parallelograms. Now let's talk about area. Area is the number of square units in a figure. Okay, again, a quick review from perimeter. Notice rectangles. Here in this rectangle we have this and this given. This is 5 and 3. Remember, any side could be considered as the base. So if this measures 5, this here at the bottom, it's also 5. If this measures 3, this side measures 3. Notice that this is a rectangle. We know that this is a right angle. So in this case, we're going to call this base, and this we're going to call it the height. Okay, base, the bottom, and the line perpendicular to the base, height. Or this could be also the height, right? 3. It's the same thing. Now, for parallelograms, if this is 5, this is also 5. Now notice, this, we don't know this measure. We don't know this. But we know that if this is the base, if we draw a perpendicular line to the base, look, this is perpendicular, this will be our height, and it's telling us that this measures is 3. So in this case, this will be the base, and this will be the height. Okay? So, area of rectangles and parallelograms. The area A of a rectangle or parallelogram is the base length B times the height H. So if we write a formula, the area A of a rectangle A or parallelogram is equals the base length B times the height H. So the formula for area of rectangles and parallelogram is equal. Area equals base times height. So look at example 2. Example 2 says, graph each figure with the given vertices, then find the area of each figure. Okay? So let's graph practice example 2, part A. -2, -1. Remember, x, y, x, y, x, y, x, y. Okay, those are the coordinates of each point. So -2 in x, -1, -2, -1 in y, 1 times down. 2 times to the left, 1 times down. This is point A. 2 to the left, 1 times down. That's point A. 2, -1. X is 2, 1, 2, y -1. This is our second point. This will be point B. 2, 1, 2, -1, 1 down. Third point, 2, 2. X2, 1, 2, Y2, 1, 2. This will be our third point, and we're going to call this point C. And finally, -2, 2. X -2, -1, -2, Y2, 1, 2. And that will be point D. So we connect the points. AB, BC, CD, AD. And what do we have? A rectangle, right? We have a rectangle. Okay? Now let's find the area. How are we going to find the area? First, let's find the measure of each side. Notice, from A to B, A in X is located at -2, and B is located at +2. So the distance from A to B goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So this measures 4. If this measures 4, CD measures 4 too. Now let's find the measure of BC. Notice, from B to C in Y is -1, and here it's +2. So the measure from here to here will be 1, 2, 3, 3. If this measures 3, this side also measures 3. Okay? So those are the length of this rectangle. Now let's define the base and the height. This will be our base, right? Now, since this is our perpendicular line to the base, that means that this will be our height. Now we have defined the base and the height. In this case, base is equal to 4 and height equals 3. Now we can use the formula for the area of this figure. area equals base times height. Area equals base 4 times height 3. 4 times 3, 12. 12 what? Okay. Area is measured in square units. Square units. So that will be our answer for the area of the figure with vertices -2, -1, 2, -1, 2, 2, -2, 2. Now, part B. Okay, same instructions. We're going to graph those 4 points. Okay, and then we find the area of the figure. So let's start. First point is x -4, y 0. So this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. X -4, -1, -2, -3, -4, y 0. So we don't have to move up or down. This will be the location of our first point. Let's call that point A. Now, second point, x2, y0. x2, y0. So x2, 1, 2, y0. We don't move up or down. It will be there. Let's call this point B. Third point, x4, y3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, x4, y3. 1, 2, 3. Look. 3. This will be point C. And point D is x -2, y3. -1, -2. 1, 2, 3. Let's call this point D. Now we connect the points AB, BC, CD, AD. Oops, sorry. And what do we have here? We have a parallelogram, right? Now, let's find the base. So, I'm going to consider AB the base, okay? So what would be the measure of the base? Look, it starts at -4 to +2. So let's count how many units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the measure of all of this is 6. If this measures 6, the top will measure 6. So we found that our base equals 6. Now let's find the height. Notice, if this is our base, let's draw a perpendicular line to the base. Okay? And let's find the measure from here to here. Look, here to here. So how many times do we have to move up? 1, 2, 3. 3. So this will be our height. So our height will equal to 3. Knowing this, we can use the formula. Area equals base times height. area equal base 6 times our height 3. Area equals 6 times 3, 18 square units. Okay, and that will be example 2 part B. Now, the last example for this lesson, example 3 says, find the area and perimeter of a composite figure. Composite figure, this is our figure. Okay, why do we call this a composite figure? Because it is a figure created by 2 or more figures. Look at this. I can create this rectangle over here. I can create another rectangle and a third rectangle. So I can split up this composite figure and it will look something like this. Our first figure, this one, we know that this measures 2 and this is equal to 5. Okay, now look at our second figure, this one. We have another rectangle. This side measures 5 units. This is 5 units. And the height, this height, equals 3 units. Okay. And finally, our third figure, our third rectangle, this one, it looks something like this. Sorry. So what would be this measure? This one or this one? So if we look at the figure, this measures 3. So that means that this will measure, this or this measures 3 units. And we know that this side equals 6. So that means that this side equals 6. So here we had our composite figure. We created this composite figure by using 3 rectangles in this case. Okay, this composite figure is equal to this rectangle plus the third rectangle, right? Okay, so here we have our composite figure using 3 rectangles in this case. Okay, so now area. So the area of this composite figure will be the sum of the 3 areas. So I'm going to call this 1, 2, 3. So the area of the composite figure will be area 1 plus area 2 plus area 3. Okay? So the area of the total composite figure will be area 1, base times height. That means base 2 times height 5 plus area 2, base 5 times height 3 plus area 3, base 6 times height 3. Okay, don't forget that we're using the formula area equals base times height. Okay, so we use this formula to find area 1, area 2, and area 3. Now let's multiply them. Area equals 2 times 5, 10 units squared, square units, plus 5 times 3, 15 square units, and 6 times 3 plus 18 square units. Now all we have to do is add 10 plus 15 plus 18. The area of that figure will be 43 square units. So that's the area for our composite figure. We found the area. Now let's find the perimeter. By definition, perimeter is the sum of all the sides. Perimeter, the distance around the outside of a figure. That was our definition at the beginning of the lesson. So let's if we go back to our composite figure. So we have how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sides in total. Let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sides, sorry. 10 sides in total. So let's add all the sides. So perimeter equals 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus, what would be this height? 3 plus 6 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sides in total. So now let's add. 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 plus 3 is 8, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 4 plus 5, 9. Four plus 8, 12. 6 plus 9, 15 plus 9. 12 plus 15, that's 27 plus 9, 36 units. That will be our perimeter. 36 units. Okay? Don't forget, if you didn't understand anything, just pause the video and start it over again so that you will have so that you could look at the problem again. So your homework will be homework number 3, page 283, problems 2 through 24 even and 25. Okay, see you guys.